As a Bantu man, or an African man, depending on your choice of terminology, born and living in a country once colonized by the British, like so many, I had no love for the Caucasian race. Based on stories I'd heard, things I'd read, the historical accounts kept alive by the Black consciousness or Black empowerment movements, my own observations of the eroding indigenous culture and the death of African languages on the heels of colonialism, and the West's ongoing exploitation of African resources, I really had no kind thoughts for Bahua, as white people are called in my mother tongue. I didn't hate them. I just hated what they had done and continue to do to my people in the process of bringing us civilization. This led to a deep resentment and to my treating Caucasians with a cool, guarded ambivalence. I was happy if they stayed out of my way, and I stayed out of theirs. I never took the initiative to make Caucasian friends, and totally lacked that drive, that desire that many Africans have to visit Western lands. I also considered it my sacred duty, as an African man, to remember and teach others to remember how the Bahua had screwed us over, and how we couldn't and shouldn't ever trust them. Sure, I got to know a few Caucasians who slipped under the radar over the years, but by and large, I was not interested in making them my friends. It was incredible then to read Jeremy's compassionate, first principle-based explanation of the differences between the races. I learned that these differences exist because each race has had a different level of exposure to humanity's psychologically upsetting but heroic search for self-understanding. And it's these different degrees of exposure that have directed the ways in which different races behave, both amongst themselves and towards others. Well, when I learned this, all the negative feelings I'd harbored for many, many years about the more upset races from more advanced civilizations, such as the Caucasians, immediately melted away. Jeremy had so fully and accountably explained our racial differences that it healed my inner resentment of colonizing Brits and, by extension, of the Caucasian race and others, cutting like a hot knife through butter. It even made me aware of my own race's oppression of other races such as the Kung Bushmen. From my own experience, I can thus say with absolute certainty that as the word gets out, freedom will provide the key to healing poor or strained race relations throughout the world. Basically, this understanding of the human condition will end all prejudices like racism forever. It's so exciting to think about what the world is going to be like when this understanding becomes widely known and understood. It is going to bring about a world that is harmonious, healed, and transformed, which is the glorious home our species deserves at the end of its journey to self-understanding. Freedom is a phenomenal, far-reaching work whose value, especially at this point in Earth's history, cannot be overstated. And I'm excited about being a part of WTM's momentous project and setting up Africa's first center to bring freedom and transformation to the whole world. Join us as we live to save the world.